Okay, so we'd like to welcome you to Quilt Show Reno. We have a big, huge show that's coming up June 13th through the 15th, but classes start on June 11th. So we have Gina Perkes here with us from the Copper Needle. And if you haven't met her, she is super fun, super cute. If you haven't taken a class from her, you want to. So I'm just going to let Gina kind of introduce herself, tell us how long she's been quilting, what she specializes in, and all that good stuff. Okay, Gina.
Hey, everybody. Hi, I'm Gina Perkes. I'm from Arizona. I've been quilting for a long time now. Probably going on 25 years. My specialty is definitely the machine quilting part, the finishing. So I do both long arm and domestic. Really, any type of machine, I'm able to help you, able to inspire you and teach you some really great techniques for using whatever machine you decide to use to finish your quilts. And you always need to remember that if the quilt is not quilted, it's not a quilt. So everybody who makes a quilt needs to finish that quilt either by a check or by yourself. And I could probably help you with paying by check too if you want to pay me by check. But I'd rather teach you some techniques so that you can finish your own pieces.
So for those that are have just domestic machines, we had this question the other day on one of my lives. How can they quilt their quilts on their little machines?
How can they quilt them?
Yeah.
Well, they can do free motion. They can do quilt as you go method.
But it is really possible on their machines.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's absolutely possible. I mean, some machines are going to be, you really don't need a fancy machine by any means, because all you need is a straight stitch and the ability to lower your feed dogs. Actually, even if you can't lower your feed dogs by machine, you can even cover them up with a business card. So there's no excuses. All machine types can be used, even the most basic machines, to finish those wonderful quilt tops.
So I know Rhonda's on here, and she's the one who asked me the other day when I was doing a demo, and she said, well, you have a big long arm, so it's easy for you. But not everybody has long arms, and some of the best quilts and quilt shows win on their domestic machines. So do you have tips and tricks for them on their domestic machines?
Absolutely. I am filled with tips and tricks. There's so many things. It's really just about learning the fundamentals, learning how to hold your quilt, how to keep your quilt square to the machine so that you're not trying to wrestle with a large, bulky piece. Once you kind of get started on a quilt and you've elevated the edges, I don't want to give away all my secrets and all my tips, but a few of them are to make sure that you cut back on the drag and make sure that your quilt is so in the corners so that you're not having to worry about that drag and wrestling the quilt. But it can be done. And obviously a long arm machine is going to be a little bit easier. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, it is a little bit easier, but not everybody has room for a big long arm machine, and not everybody wants to make that kind of financial investment. So I think it can be learned. It's just a matter of good techniques, and that's absolutely what I'm here for.
So in Reno, what classes are you teaching?
I'm teaching a bunch, and I've actually got them pulled up here because I do have some room still. I'm teaching all machine quilting, both on a long arm machine and a domestic machine. And I'm also doing some lecture demos. They'll be demoed on a long arm, but I would also encourage folks to come and watch the lecture demos, even if you are a regular domestic sewing machine user, because the classes are design classes and you can absolutely gain something from coming to the class, as far as being able to translate over to your domestic machine. So let me see here. Let me see what I have here. I've got a long arm class that's got, actually quite a few of them still have room, which I'm a little surprised about. We need to step this up a little bit, folks.
I know. They're all waiting till the last minute.
Yeah, don't wait till the last minute, because sometimes everybody is doing that, and you might end up missing out, really. Okay, so here, I just had my classes, and now where did they go?
Anne says that means she would have to actually clean off her machine table. Yeah, Anne, that does. In order to quilt, you do have to make space.
Well, not really. I mean, you can just kind of shove things here and there. I absolutely am a fan of just, tucking it, just sweeping it under the rug and keep quilting. I mean, who's got time to clean, right?
True story. True story. Okay, what are the classes you have?
Okay, so I've got my fundamentals of long arm quilting is sold out, but I do have two fundamentals of ruler quilting classes that are on domestic machines, and those both have availability. I have some really fun new rulers that I'm going to be showing, and I've got a really fun ruler that I want to show you right now. So this is the ruler. Okay, there we go.
You can see it. Yep. So that's for their domestic machines.
Yes, this can be used on domestic and long arm. So I've got some room left in my tools class for long arm quilting, and then I've got some room left in my fundamentals of ruler quilting on your domestic machine. So no matter what type of machine you use, there's room to learn how to use these great tools in Reno coming up. And so there's room in all of those. I've got a grid work class that's got some room. I've got an applique. Actually, I guess the applique would not be finishing machine quilting. So I do have some room in that as well.
So they're going to applique with their machine, not by hand?
Not by hand, no. It's definitely going to be by machine.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going to do some machine applique, and I think I listed all of them.
So if they are just kind of getting back into quilting, or they haven't really quilted anything yet, any of those classes would be great, because they're going to learn the fundamentals of quilting, whether it's domestic or long arm. It kind of can go back and forth.
Absolutely. I would definitely call myself a technique teacher primarily. My goal is to give the students skills that they need so that they are not going to be making a masterpiece in class. So let's just get that out into the open. There will be no seam ripping going on in any of my classes. We're just here to learn tips and tricks and fundamental concepts that will help you to train your brain, because machine quilting is very much a brain activity. Even if you don't consider yourself creative, if you don't consider yourself an artist, you're going to come away with some great skills and some great techniques that you can use. You can be any level. Don't be intimidated. You're going to enjoy. I just got done teaching in Paducah, and this will be the next show that I'll be going to. I got some great reviews from the students. They felt encouraged and inspired. So you don't want to miss out on getting into these classes, because they're really, really good. They're really fun, and we have a good time. We laugh, we learn, we're silly, but we come away with so much that we can work on them when we get home.
Perfect. So do you have classes that are just lectures where they don't have to bring their machines? Although I strongly suggest taking classes with your machine, so you learn with your machine, but a lot of people don't want to drag their machines in. So you've got classes that lectures, and yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying before, even if a person primarily quilts on their domestic sewing machine, I would encourage those students to come and consider taking a long arm class, because you can still learn the same design concepts, and a lot of those techniques translate over, and you don't have to bring a machine The classes are very affordable. They really, really are. And it's just a great way. And I always ask the class what type of machine they use, the students. And if you tell me that you are a domestic machine user, I will 100% come along and give you some great tips that you can take with you for your machine type. So don't limit yourself to anything like that. Everybody is welcome. It's fun. It's full of, all of the classes are full of information.
And Rhonda says, what are the classes running price-wise? Which you might not know because you're not sitting at a computer. Like we, as teachers, we don't really know what the show is charging usually. Where can I order Gina's ruler? I bought some rulers from Gina at Road to California. Sherry, are you going to the show?
Pardon? I'm sorry. What was that?
I was asking Sherry if she's going to the show. But because you don't have a booth at the show, do you?
No, I don't have a booth at the show, but I will have some rulers with me. So people are welcome to come in at the show in my classrooms. And I also have a website. It's thecopperneedle.com. And I did pull up the information again. So,
okay.
So I found out here modern quilting long arm class, $35. I mean, that is a really, really great price to come and take classes. I have a grids and fillers. That one is on the home machine quilting. That's a 3-hour class for 15, and that's a long arm class. That is a 3-hour class for $65. The home machine quilting with rulers, those are all day classes. So we're looking at 7-hour classes. You're going to have my brain to pick needed because it normally does fill up really, really quickly. I also have a how do I quilt this lecture, and that's for everybody. That's a great class. That's one where we talk about the design approach and how do you listen to what your quilts are trying to tell you? How do you determine a path for quilting? My machine applique fundamentals class is $55. So, I mean, these are all really affordable classes.
Super affordable.
There's just no replacement for having an in-person class. I know there's so much online these days, and I sure hope that people will continue to take the in-person classes because there's just nothing like having a teacher right there next to you, being able to tell you things like relax your shoulders, or it looks like you're at the needle and you'd probably have more luck if you kind of scan the areas you're quilting. Like those are things that I absolutely do, and I'm certain that other teachers can do that as well. So make sure we've got to support these in-person classes so that teachers like me and Beth can continue coming and offering all of the things that we've come up with through the years.
For sure. That's like the truest statement I've heard all day.
Okay. Well, it's true.
It is. And people don't, sometimes you just, as a consumer, you don't realize that this is our job. We don't get a monthly paycheck that's super dependable. We work super hard, and we hope that they sign up. We hope and pray that they sign up. Okay, so what is your website one more time so that Sherry can go get some rulers?
Okay, great. Yeah, it's thecopperneedle.com. www.thecopperneedle.com.
Yep, you got it, Rhonda. Okay, so do you girls have any questions for Gina? I mean, she's right. She can't give you all her tips and tricks and secrets here, but I've gone in and taught in a class after Gina, and the ladies are always super excited and hanging around and getting all the rulers, and they are rulers that you want to take a class for. Because
Mhm.
I'm sure there's directions that come with it, but in person, Gina's right there to answer all your questions and give you tips and tricks and all that good stuff. Okay, do you want to show us those
Absolutely.
quilts real quick?
Yes, I would love to. All right, I've got some great little eye candy here for you. Let me show you what I've got, what I brought.
So Gina literally is just getting back from Paducah. So I'm super grateful that she was willing to do this interview because she might still have jet lag.
I do. I got home at 10 o'clock last night. But, you know, it's what we do because we love what we do.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not, how's that showing up? Here's
Come
some
a little bit
feathers.
closer.
Here's some feathers that you can do with a ruler. Here's some circles that you can do with a ruler.
Oh, there you go.
So these are all quilts that I've done with my ruler. Some free motion quilting. Does that show up okay to everybody?
It does, and it's a little bit of a lag, so I think that it will, if they go back and fast forward this, they'll be able to get to it and really see it. Because sometimes with streaming, it will come in later better. Oh, Sherry says she would love to take classes with you, but she won't be there this year. Bummer, Sherry.
Oh, darn.
So that's a bummer. All. Those feathers are all freehand with the rulers.
Yep, those are done with the rulers. Absolutely. And I've got another quilt here that I can show you.
And Rhonda says those are tiny, tiny triangles.
Yeah, here's some fun quilting. This is just a real whimsical kind of quilt that I did. And lots of these techniques are going to be featured in really all of my classes because we talk lines, we talk about the process of coming up with the ideas. I feel like
I know it's super hard if you don't have somebody to film you. When I try to do it by myself, it's so awkward. And the camera's in somewhere where you're always showing it at the wrong angle.
I know. I felt like I was on The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some modern designs.
Oh, that is beautiful. And so in the class, you also kind of go over like little tips and tricks to get their tension right, or you just cover rulers and
we talk about everything. We talk about how do you hold your mouth? What kind of music to use? What do you drink? What
Perfect.
I mean, we're talking everything. We talk about everything. I'm just here to encourage you and give you a tip and trick I've learned. I've been quilting now for over 25 years. So all of the great tips and little hints and things that make things doable are yours for the taking.
Right.
I'm happy to share.
And you quilt every day, all day long. And so you kind of have worked out the little kinks that maybe if you aren't doing this professionally, you quilt here and there, you don't really work out those kinks. So this is perfect to pick Gina's brain and say, hey, when this happens, when I try to quilt this happens. She can kind of troubleshoot that and help you with those.
Yeah. And in fact, here's another little tip for students. This is a tip on how to be a Gold Star student. So if you have questions and you're thinking about them leading up to the show, write them down in a little notebook, in the notebook that you plan to bring to class, and ask the questions. I know some people are intimidated and feel that, oh, their question's dumb, but trust me, there are not dumb questions. And if you can write them down now, bring them to class, I am super happy to answer any of your questions.
Right. And if they're thinking those questions, so are other people in the class.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Rhonda says the black with white and light threads is very nice.
Yay,
it really shows. It pops up. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And then you mentioned you have an applique class. So what are they going to be appliquing?
Yeah, they're going to learn the very, very basics of applique, all sorts of things. I come with a kit. I come with a laser cut kit So all they have to do is peel off the paper, press it down, and then we're ready to stitch. There's not a lot of prep work or anything like that. It's just very easy and quick. And they're going to learn, again, all sorts of things like where do you look, and how do you taper your stitches? How do you select a stitch? We're going to use all sorts of different things. So that one will be really fun. Applique is a great, great technique. It makes it to where if you can imagine it, if you can see it, you can make it into a quilt because there's no limitations for angles or anything like that. I love applique.
Me too. Me too. It's kind of like freedom of speech, but with fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anything else you want to let them know, Gina?
I'm just really, really excited to be coming. I think Reno is a wonderful quilt show. It's honestly one of my favorite quilt shows to come to. The people I've met over the years since I've been teaching there have just been wonderful, and just really excited about learning. So I'm truly excited. I'm truly grateful that I'm one of the teachers that will be there. So this is me just saying, please come and take my classes so I can keep coming back and keep doing what I love to do and inspiring you to do what you love to do.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I'm super grateful that you joined us today. And and I hope you guys out there listening go to www.quiltshowreno.com and get signed up for the classes. It's not very often that we're pretty blessed and lucky in this region to have several really, really great shows. And Reno is one of those. Reno brings all the best teachers, great quilt displays, and it's still small enough that it's like you kind of know everybody, you know the layout, you know the drill, nothing's overwhelming. There's always somebody there to help you. And in a lot of Gina's classes, you're going to bring your own machine. They do have a place right there near the classrooms where you can store your machine with the person who's handling the classroom registrations. So you don't have to lug your machine back and forth. So I strongly suggest you get signed up for as many classes as you physically think you can handle. Don't go overboard because you don't want to be super exhausted. But you definitely want to get in as many classes as you can. All right. Thank you so much, Gina. Do you guys have any other questions for her before she goes and takes a nap or something exciting? Probably unloads her truck or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. I think you covered it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'll see you all here in just a few, I don't know, whatever, 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it.
All right. Get signed up, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So we're going to go right over to, we have Sue Purdy, and I'm going to bring her on. I hope she's ready. I hope she's listening. She's not making eye contact behind the stage, but, okay. Hey, Sue, if you're ready for me to put the camera on you, wave. So, okay. She's ready. She's listening. She's able to multitask. All right. So we have Sue Purdy here. I'm going to let you tell us all about who you are, how you got started, what you're doing at the Reno Quilt Show, and all that good stuff. Oops, I got no volume. See if you've got volume. All right, for those of you watching today, I'm super excited. We have one more interview after Sue, so don't go far. Hang on. All right, well, for those of you who are watching, do you have any questions about Quilt Show Reno? It's held at the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno, and classes start on the 11th of June, Tuesday, the 11th of June, and then they go through the 15th, I believe, Saturday. Sue, when you logged on, did it ask you about a mic check? Sometimes if you log off and then log back on, it might help too. Okay. She might be on mute. You never know. I'm just going to tell you, we were meant to be like creators and sewers and shop owners. Well, I don't even know that we were meant to be shop owners, honestly. But somehow we were put in charge here. But we were definitely not ever meant to be technical people at all, at all. Techie is not most of our specialties. So let's just give her a second. She'll come back on. Do any of you have questions about Quilt Show Reno, or are any of you thinking about what classes you might want to sign up for? I did sign up for 3 of Joe's classes. So if you didn't catch Friday morning at the crack of dawn, 7:30 a.m., because Joe and Linda Hahn were on East Coast time. So we interviewed Joe, and he's got a lot of, if you want to do clothing, he's got a class on, I think, Friday night, and it's notions. And there's so many products out there on this planet. And for those of us, I mean, they change faster than we can learn how to use them. So it's kind of exciting. He's going to go over all of the different notions, and everybody there gets a bag to take home. So I did sign up for that one too, because you can never stop learning. We always need to learn. Okay, let's see. Hi, Susan. How are you? Okay. Well, she's there, but now she has no. Yes. And isn't that exciting? Dolly Parton is really probably my most favorite famous person. And Joe is doing clothes for her. I don't know. She was on with a black screen, and now it says devices are not connected. Okay. Well, we'll just see what's going on. Gosh, usually when I'm trying to concentrate, you girls are just chit-chatting away. And now you guys are so quiet. No questions about Quilt Show Reno, I hear. Yes, he made clothes for Dolly Parton and Dancing with the Stars. And this is his last year to be at Quilt Show Reno. So it honestly will be every teacher's last year if we don't fill up those classes. And sometimes I know we put it on the back burner because we think, oh, we'll take the classes next year or whatnot. But my eyes get really sore when I sew. I don't know why. Rhonda, I would say maybe you need stronger prescriptions. I would say I would go to the eye doctor if my eyes were getting sore when I was sewing. But also it could be the fibers. You might be allergic to the fibers. So maybe take an antihistamine and see if that helps. That's the cheapest way to see if something is happening. Oh gosh, Sue came on and then she left again. I'm working on a quilt to bring you to quilt. Okay, Stephanie, I'm excited. You're like the 5th person that said that. I can only imagine what I'm going to go home with. It was a great interview. Gina is super cute, and she's like super smart. So you guys are not going to be disappointed if you take a class from her or all 5 of them. Susan, it definitely could be her lighting. She might be straining her eyes. Okay, let's see. She's on now, but it's a white screen. So last time she got on, it was a black screen, and now it's a white screen. Oh, see, Cindy, I'm glad you were able to find the comments. Are you feeling better? Okay. Sue, can you hear me? Sue? Hey, Susan. Okay, so while we're having technical problems, do you girls have any other questions? I'm going to pull up Quilt Show Reno website. Have you guys gone to the website yet? It's www.quiltshowreno.com. No energy, but looking forward. Oh, Cindy, I hope you get your energy back by next week. Okay, let's see. I'm pulling up the website so we can discuss the website. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to do a prize or something. Quilt Show. Uh-oh, now she's there, but her device is not connected anymore. Nothing more, I'm going to tell you girls, there's nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to go live and you can't get your stuff to work. And it doesn't matter. Even sometimes I do this twice a week, and sometimes it still is crazy. Okay, here, I'm gonna pull up, while we're waiting for Sue, I'm going to pull up Gina's classes, just so I'm going to give you like what times and what days real quick. I know she did that, but I know you guys want to sign up. You got to sign up while you're still excited about it. She's still trying, girl. She's still trying. Okay, let's see. Not by teachers. If you look by teachers, it just tells you about the teachers. So I'm going to go here. And then I think I can find Gina. So she's got a long arm class, Designs for the Modern Quilt. It's a 2-hour class. So that looks like, to me, I didn't look at it, but I'm going to just bring it up close to you guys. Oh, I need to like turn off the glare from my window. But look at how beautiful that quilting is. Can you guys see it? So even if you have a domestic machine, she's going to have the rulers and all the tips and tricks on how to quilt for modern quilting. And that literally is a $35 class. Anybody could afford that. Hang on a second. Let me see if... Are you there, Sue? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Sue? Fundamentals of Long Arm is sold out. Here's another one. Glorious. Let me see. Sue, wave your hand when you can see it. Okay, here's fillers. And like right now, fillers are super, super the trend. So a filler class would be great. And that's 3 hours. Grid work is with the rulers. So you learn how to do straight lines. That one's a good one. Like, I wish I wasn't working the show so I could actually, if you go to the teacher and scroll down, it will be all the classes that teacher's teaching. Perfect. And then machine applique fundamentals. So that's probably what you're going to be making in her applique class. Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if we can find something. I'm going to give you a piece of trivia while we're waiting. I'm going to see. Are you Sue, can you hear me? Sue, the show. Have you guys been to the website? We've got quilt displays, the venue. Oh, you guys might not know about this, but you still you still have time if you really want to. We have a Trash to Treasures challenge that we sponsor, and for $10 you get a bag of random stuff from upstairs, and you put it into making a project, anything you want. So like I'm looking at a project right here. They took a denim vest, like a Levi's vest, and they took all the embellishments and just sewed the embellishments onto the vest. And then they did here, I'm trying to see if I was looking to see if she sent me a text since I can't hear her. Or an email maybe. So you can still do the Trash to Treasures project. You can also do we have a tribute to Eleanor Peace Bailey with a doll pattern. And so we send you a doll pattern, and then you can morph that doll pattern into anything you want. We actually had somebody who turned it in, and theirs is a mermaid. So you can do anything you want. It's just using that basic pattern as an inspiration. You can make it as detailed as you want or whatnot. So those are two challenges that we sponsor here at Fabric Chicks. But there is a ton of stuff. I'm looking to see. We've got quilt displays. The quilt displays there are really pretty impressive. They're the quilt displays that go all around the country. Can we use a pattern for junk treasures? Stephanie, you can do anything your heart desires with the Trash to Treasures. You can make absolutely anything. Okay. Sue just left again. Maybe she'll try to get on again. Okay, we'll give it a few minutes because we're also waiting for our 3 o'clock Handi Quilter to join us also. The show starts at 10 a.m. every morning, and then it goes till 5, except for on Saturday, it ends at 3. Okay. Sue, I'm going to give it to you. You just keep on trying. Good job. Nope. Like, at least before I had your picture, now it's just a black picture. I don't know if you can hear me, Sue, but all I have is a black picture. So there is something that's happening different this year at Quilt Show Reno. We have the Truckee Meadows Quilt Guild is going to be doing, it's kind of like a merging quilt show, the Truckee Meadow Quilt Show, which is a guild, and the Quilt Show Reno, which is a vendor show predominantly. So that's going to be exciting. They said that the guild members have come together and produced hundreds of original, beautiful quilts. The quilts have been made with a wide variety of materials, techniques, interpretations, and artistic abilities. For easy viewing, the quilts will be displayed according to category. Truckee Meadow Quilt Guild has been meeting for fun and inspiration for over 45 years. And then we have antique vintage quilts by the Quilt Guild. And then we have stone portraits and sacred stonescapes by Denise Labode. And that's one, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is one of her quilts that's going to be in the display. So that's really pretty crazy. That's very impressive. Like being able to get the rocks and all the depth and dimension in them is a little bit tricky. And then we have Point Raised Boat and a group of art quilters by Group of Art Quilters. And there's the old boat on the seashore that they're specializing in. And then we have It's a Wild World of Color from the Carson Valley Quilt Guild members. They've got a special exhibit. The Carson Valley Quilt Guild does a special exhibit most years. There will be prizes awarded to the TMQ quilts. I thought they were still doing viewer's choice too, but I'm not positive. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm not, it's going to be interesting to see how it morphs into reality. Sea Creatures by Quilts on the Wall. So you've got a display of sea life. I mean, if you look at that artwork, that is very, very impressive. Prizes being ribbons. So the guild will go around and issue. They will judge their own quilts, not the quilt show. Visions and Textiles by Mountain Art Quilters. Oh my God, look at how cute this is with the little fox. I think it's going to be a pretty impressive quilt display. Okay, Sue is trying to get on. She's trying. Okay, any other questions about Quilt Show Reno? Because now my computer's my phone is frozen. Okay, let's see. You do want to get your rooms. Maybe she unplugged her computer. It's possible because look at what I've got now. I just have this black screen. And if I echo canceling automatic mic, it does not give me. Maybe text or call to see what the problem is. Oh my gosh, Susan, I don't even know that I have her phone number. I do have it somewhere. You want me to be responsible? I don't know if she can hear us or not. Hang on a second. All right, one of you guys tell a dad joke or something. Okay, here, I'm going to find, I do have her phone number here in my magic book of all the important things. Where does she live? Maybe there's a down tower. It could be anything, Rhonda. It could be anything. Okay, here, I'm going to call her. You guys are going to hear her live. This is so nerve-wracking. I'm pretty sure she's probably having a nervous breakdown. No, it's not Zoom. If it was Zoom, I could like press a button that will ask her to turn on her mic, and then it would pop up on her screen and she could just click it. But it's not Zoom, it's StreamYard, so that it goes to Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. 443. Like sometimes you just wish the world would just everything would fall into line and work right. I know, that's what I just told. Can you hear me? Oh. Yeah. Right. So are you on your laptop? And there's a camera there, and there should be a camera, and then you should have a volume button. Like, are you muted? Huh. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Well, now we don't even have your video. Your video is just black. Yeah, nope. We have no video, and no volume. But it says on my end, it says I can mute you, but I can't. I mean, there's no point because there's no volume. Do you have a telephone? If you have a telephone, you can go through the same link. And yeah, you can do it from your cell phone. Is your husband there? Can he hold it? Yeah, if your husband's there, you can definitely do it with your telephone. That's okay. I'll tell him to take their Dramamine. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. Even if no picture, put her on speaker to talk if the computer can't load. Okay, I'm not going to put her on speaker yet because she's going to try to do it from her phone. So on your text message, just go to your text and then click on that link that I sent you. Okay. Oh, if it asks for my password at this point, I'd be done. So girls, this is pretty cute because I emailed all the girls this morning and said, okay, a half hour, but sign on early in case we get done and we can just switch to the next person. And Sue says, I'll only need 15 minutes. No, I know. If you haven't logged in that way, they're going to ask you all your security questions. I know. It does that sometimes, even though I go live twice a week. Sometimes it does that, like 2 minutes before we're supposed to go live. It's crazy. No, if you clicked on the link that I sent you, you don't need a password. It's probably your Facebook password, maybe. Um, okay, girls. Thank you for being patient. She's working on it. But our 3 o'clock lady still hasn't logged in. So maybe we gotta, yeah, so maybe we've got a no-show. We got a no see and a no show. Okay, girls at home, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, and Sue says now she's in cell phone hell. Um, and then you like reset it and you'll never remember what you reset it to. Okay, I think she might almost have it, girl. She's entering the studio again. Well, you said you were. Oh. Rondi says we're keeping her amused while she's waiting in line to pick up her grandson. Hey, it's never a dull moment around here, okay? Sometimes you just gotta wing it. Okay. Yes. Allow Mike. All right, girls. It sounds like we're getting very close. You haven't popped up on my screen yet. Up there you are. There you are. Okay, hang on a second, girls. Hang on. Okay, wait. I'm gonna get rid of this, Sue. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hang up because wait, talk. Nope. Now I'm gonna hang up so that maybe you can talk onto the. It will talk to the computer. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. Now talk, Sue. Let's see if we can hear you. Oh, Debbie, I don't know that even I can make the here, I'm trying to get rid of the other one. Okay, Sue, talk and let's see if we can hear you. Oh my God, I think she's frozen now. Sue? Sue, are you there? Sue? Sue? I know, Carolyn, she was frozen. Okay, hang on a second. Here, she's back.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, but turn off your, here, I'm going to kick you out of the studio on your computer. Studio, click guest out. Okay. Okay, nothing like a little bit of crazy in the world.
Yeah, I think we're going to reschedule because this is just getting...
No, you're perfect right now. You're going to just tell the girls what you do.
Really?
Yeah, because they've been waiting they stuck with us for 20 minutes.
Okay, so can you see me?
Okay, here, I'm going to make you, yep, we can see you.
Okay, and husband's just holding the phone right there.
Yes.
I guess you're going to hold it right there. Okay, so I am sweating bullets here, people. Okay, so my name is Sue Purdy of Sue Stencils and Laser Cuts. And I'm doing 3 workshops at the Reno show. And the first workshop that I'm doing is the wood welcome sign, which is, I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see a little bit more. You have 3 choices in the signs that you can make, and you just have to email me ahead of time as to which sign you would like to make. So we have the gnome welcome sign, which is this one right here. We have the hummingbird flower welcome sign, which is this one right here. And we have the sunflower welcome sign, which is this one right here. Okay, so you have a choice of any of those, and it's laser cut applique that's been ironed on to a round piece of wood like this, and we're using a permanent fusible, so you don't need to stitch around it or any extra glue or anything to make it permanent, and you can put it outside as long as it's sheltered so that it won't fade or something like that. So that is one workshop that we're doing. Thank you for all hanging in with me. I do appreciate that. Then we're doing an easy, fast, no talent wall hanging. And this is one of the wall hangings that we're doing. And I thought it would be great for quilters because it kind of has all the different notions and everything that we're working on right there. And we're going to be using freezer paper, which is all kind of crinkled up right here. We're going to be using freezer paper ironed on to the background, and that's what will make the wall hanging easier to put it together, because otherwise it would be kind of difficult to lay these individual triangles and diamond shapes down if we didn't have a pattern to go by. Okay. The other choice for the easy wall hanging is a nativity Christmas tree, which is this right here. This is something you will also need to contact me to tell me your choice. If you want to take the class, it's going to be either the nativity Christmas tree or it's going to be the sewing, quilting, wall hanging. Okay, so that is that right there, which is really cool. You know, you get the tree and then all the individual pieces that make up the nativity with the angel and Mary and Joseph and Jesus and the lambs and the donkeys and the 3 wise men and the shepherd all included on there. And then the other workshop that I am teaching, because I thought, you know, why not teach a million workshops, is a spray or sponge painting workshop. And this is where you will do both shirts. You are bringing the t-shirts to class, a dark color t-shirt and a light colored t-shirt. This is on the dark color sheet t-shirt. It says hands off my stash. And we are spray painting the stencil with the little scissor stencil in the back. We're spray painting that with white spray paint. And then we're ironing on the permanent applique with that same fusible that doesn't need to be stitched down to make it permanent. All launderable, washer and dryer. That's the first shirt that we're doing. The second shirt that we are doing is the sponge painting, and we are sponge painting with shaving cream and acrylic paint. So you're getting this stencil, which is the coneflowers with the butterflies. And then we're also going to be ironing on some laser cut, permanent fusible bees and butterflies on the top of that. Because when you add texture to the projects that you're working on, it always makes you look more creative. We're also going to, if you'd like, spray paint the background of the shirt. I never think white t-shirts are going to stay white, so I always spray paint them ahead of time to match a pair of pants or a pair of shorts that I have that I'm going to wear the shirt with. So those are the 3 workshops that I straight the sponge painting, but my husband's doing such a good job holding the phone that I don't think we'll be able to coordinate doing the sponge painting and the phone at the same time. So that's what my workshops will be. We're also doing a free live stage demonstration of the different things that I do in my booth, which is mainly the laser cut applique and laser cut stencils. And they're either in kits or just appliques or just the stencils, and then putting the 2 together to make designs and projects that no one else has or can do by themselves. And all easy, all fast, no talent, no time.
So Rhonda wants to know, do they need to bring their machines to class, or are all your classes machine free?
Nope. All we're bringing to class is a little mini iron, one of those little wedgy shape irons. And what that will do will temporarily hold everything into place. And then in the class, I'm going to bring my bigger iron, and I will permanently press everything before they leave the class. We should have time to do all of that.
Okay. And Lynn says she got some of those signs and sent them to her grandkids, and they loved them. So they're very easy.
Great.
Even your grandkids could do it. They make great gifts.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fusible and pre-cut. So that makes really quick and easy gifts.
Yes. Fast and easy.
Perfect. Okay, girls, do you have any other questions for Sue? Sue, so if you do want to, you can think about this. It's pretty easy. My husband does all my filming, and you just have to point the camera down to your hands. Just aim the camera down.
Yeah. He just can't see what's happening, and it's might be above our pay grade.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so do you teaching?
Pardon?
Do you know what days you're teaching?
I'm pretty much teaching the workshops are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think they're at the end, near the end of the day each day. I'd have to look it up for sure. I think they're at the end of the day, but last year they were at the beginning of the day, so I might be getting that mixed up. But I think they're near the end of the day.
Right. Perfect. Okay, girls, do you have any other questions for Sue? Now that you have her undivided attention. Let's see. No question. Well, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yes.
Okay, well, show us the first 3 again real quick so that they can see them and decide what they want to take. And you're not sure what day they're teaching that one?
I could look it up here real quick because I've got my computer and I just need to look up Reno Quilt Show.
So what got you into this industry? People always love the background.
Well, I am the previous owner of Sue Sparklers. So I started that in 1994. So that business has been continuous business for 30 years. And just a couple of weeks ago, I sold the business originally in 2007, I got it back in 2015. You know, God always has other plans. And then a couple weeks ago, I sold it again to my friend Amy, who does the diamond dots, because I really wanted to focus on the stencils and the appliques, which I had gotten into the last couple of years. Okay, so the workshop for the wall hanging is on Friday from 3:30 to 5, and that is the Nativity Christmas tree and the sewing quilting wall hanging. That's on Friday, 3:30 to 5. Then we have, okay, let me see the other one. Why did it bring up just that one? I'm not sure. Okay. Then the spray painting class. Oh, the spray painting and sponge painting class is on Wednesday from 3:30 to 5. And that's where you bring 2 t-shirts to class with you, 2 pre-washed t-shirts, a light color and a dark color. So either white and black or white and navy. White's just the easiest color to work with. And then the welcome signs are on Thursday from 3:30 to 5. So they are all at the end of the day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to see pictures of them again?
I think so.
Okay. So this is the one welcome option, the sunflower sign right here, the welcome sunflower. The other option is the welcome hummingbird with its flowers. That's a really pretty one. I loved how that came out with the pinks and the light greens and stuff, that one, the hummingbird. And then, of course, I'm gnome crazy, and there's other gnome people. So we did the welcome sign with the gnome, kind of the Americana one for the 4th of July coming up, or, you know, through all the summer for the holidays and stuff. Then the t-shirt ones, the t-shirt one was the cone flowers with the butterflies. And we're working with stencils and shaving cream and some spray paint. That's the light color shirt. And then the dark color version was the hands off my stash. And we're doing applique with spray painting on that one. And then
So they're going to learn lots of different techniques.
Huh?
They're going to learn lots of techniques.
Oh, so
lots
of techniques, yeah.
So if they take the t-shirt class, then they could go and make gifts for their grandkids, or they could make matching shirts for their girlfriends.
Oh, and especially the sponge painting is so simple that the grandkids can do it with them. Because I know a lot of times you want to find projects that you can do with the grandkids, or, you know, smaller children, you know, in classes or preschool or something. Anybody can sponge paint. This is super simple, and it's like age 3 and up, you know, so we should be able to master it.
Right. We're going to Barney-fy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you girls have any other questions from her? Yes, Christy. Amy from Unique Crafts is who bought Sue's sparklers.
Yeah.
So Amy's working really, really hard right now to morph that into what she already does.
Yep. And she is also going to be in Reno.
She is? I thought she said she wasn't.
Oh, wait a minute. I shouldn't say that, should I? You're right. She's not. You're right. Yeah. She's not. You're right. Sorry.
God, I could hardly keep track of my own schedule, let alone your girls' schedules.
I know. And you know Amy's. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for Sue before we let her go so she can go have a drink? Although, you know what, Sue, don't feel bad. The gal who's on after you, she said that it's asking her all kinds of questions and it's not letting her log in either.
Oh,
it's just one of those days, girls.
Yep, it sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Sue? Okay. All right, we're gonna let Sue go so she can go unwind from this crazy evening. But definitely go sign up for her classes. If you guys aren't signed up, and I tell people you can't just come to Reno for 6 hours to walk the show. You really have to come 3 days, sign up for all the classes. It's not very often that we have these kinds of teachers at our disposal, and the classes are super, super affordable. So get signed up. I mean, you're going to learn so much, and you can never learn enough. That's what keeps us young and active, is learning. Oh gosh, the other gal was just on and then she disappeared. OMG.
Welcome to our world.
I might cry today. You guys are giving me a run for my money.
You're going to need a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to need the double. Okay, I'm going to she's here. I'm going to go real quick, Sue, before she leaves again.
Okay,
all right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with it, Sue. Have a good night.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Hi, Karen. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Nope, now you've got your mute on. Oh my gosh, girls, are we going to go through this again?
The microphone.
Wait, there you are. There you are. Oh. Don't say anything inappropriate. Wait, nope, now we can't hear you.
Is this okay?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, then I'll take these out.
You know what? I never put my AirPods in because it always messes up the system.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, because it should work, but it doesn't.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to flip this so Brian can, let's see, camera maybe, flip.
You have to go into settings. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, so we want to welcome Karen King. She's with Handi Quilter, and she's going to be teaching classes at the show. And remember, we are so grateful that you guys are so patient with us. We are not techie people. We are creative people that have been thrown into the techie world. It's like they want to just like dangle us there and see us struggle. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it right over to you, Karen. You can tell us how you got into the industry and what you're going to be teaching.
Okay. Well, I started quilting back in 2008. I rented a machine in a local quilt shop, got hooked instantly. And in 2010, I bought my first long arm. It was computerized, and started a business that very day. I actually had a neighbor come and visit me at my house and say, "Is that a long arm they're loading out of the truck into your living room?" And she said, "I have ladies who need quilts quilted." And so I started right away. I was busy and had piles of quilts waiting from day one. And for the past 14 years, I have been very, very busy. I do live in the Pacific Northwest, and we do have a lot of population in this area, but I love it. I still love it. Just recently, a few years ago, I started working for Handi Quilter. I was actually at Academy and decided that education might be kind of fun. I thought I'd give it a try, and I absolutely love it. Love teaching people how to use their long arm, how to avoid the pitfalls that I ran into when I started 14 years ago and cried a lot over it. And I don't want anybody crying over their long arm. So I make sure when I teach that I teach in enough detail that they don't have those frustrations that I had in the beginning. So what Vicki Kirkley and I will be teaching in Reno, we're going to be teaching several things. We are going to make sure that you know from the very beginning how to wind your bobbin on the bobbin winder that's included with Handi Quilter machines. We're going to make sure you know what needles to use and how to determine what size and what kind of needle to use for your long arm. We're also going to show you how to choose thread, which threads to use, which ones are appropriate for a long arm. So all of those things we're going to be teaching on Wednesday. So maybe I should back up. just a little bit because on Tuesday, June 11th, Vicki and I are both going to be teaching an all-day class exploring Pro Stitcher. And that will be for those who want to know more about Pro Stitcher. Maybe they're starting into it or they want a refresher. But that will be teaching all about this computerized computer system, which is fabulous. It's so easy to run and magnificent and fast. I love it. Then on Wednesday, we will be teaching all of those things that I talked about before, even how to load your quilt on the frame and all of the details surrounding that.
Hey, Beth, I'll try to call back tomorrow.
And then in the afternoon, Vicki will be teaching about sweet and simple free motion. She'll help you get started. She is an amazing free motion quilter. I love to watch her move the machine. She just teaches effortlessly, and she'll teach you how to move your machine effortlessly through free motion as well. Then on Thursday, Vicki and I will both be teaching, and actually I'm unclear about this, but I know we're going over rulers on Thursday. So look at the schedule online. I believe they have that at Quilt Show Reno on their online class schedule. On Friday, I will be teaching background fills and beyond. So I will build on what Vicki taught you in the sweet and simple background or free motion quilting, and we'll expand on it and go even a little bit further, quilt a little bit more, have even more fun on the machine.
So are you going to be in a classroom that has long arms? So if they're thinking about purchasing a long arm, they could come and take a class and work all day on a long arm?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So they will actually be getting their hands on the machine, the frame, the computer. They will be doing and touching the buttons so that it gets into their muscle memory and they remember how to do it when they get home. We will also have handouts for them to take home with them, so they'll be able to remember what they did in class that day.
Okay. And if they already have a long arm that might not necessarily be a handy quilter, would the information that you're going to be teaching and the different ruler classes, would those still be helpful for them?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Because we'll be teaching them how to load on a frame that is somewhat industry standard. We'll be teaching them how to operate the machine, how to retrieve the bobbin thread from underneath the quilt top. The computer system may be different, but they may want to take a look at it and see what it offers, because it is amazing. It shows you where your needle is on the quilt top. So when you have a repair, you can put your needle right on that place where your thread broke and tap 2 buttons, and the machine picks up right where it broke a thread and keeps going. So you may want to just come and look and see what that computer system, what Pro Stitcher is the name of the computer system, what it has to offer.
Perfect.
And then on Saturday, the final day, we will be having you stitch the outline of a block that's very similar to this star block right here. It looks a lot like it. And I will teach you how to custom quilt this block using the computer system, Pro Stitcher. And then right after, Vicki will teach you on the second block how to custom quilt this block using free motion and rulers. So you'll learn all of those skills combined in all of those classes, and we're going to have a great time.
So I think this is a really good opportunity for people, because a lot of times people, I hear all the time that they bought a long arm and now they're confused because they're kind of left hanging. They don't really come with classes or whatnot, or the classes are very minimal. So this would be a great class for anybody who has a long arm and just wants to enrich their skills. And no matter what, this is what I try to tell people. You're always going to learn something. Always. nobody knows everything, and everybody, all teachers come at things from different aspects and different visions. And so every class I've ever taken, you go away with so much knowledge. So if you're struggling with your long arm that you already have, or you're thinking about getting a long arm, these would be great classes to take.
Exactly. And even I've had seasoned quilters in my classes who have walked away and learned some different techniques as well, because
Right.
quilter does something a little bit differently. So
for sure, everybody loads different. You're just always going to find little tips and tricks.
yes.
Yeah.
We're excited. It'll be fun.
And then you guys will also have a booth out on the show floor that people can stop by and talk to you.
Yes, we'll have a booth on the show floor that will have machines set up. So you'll be able to go and test drive.
We don't have volume.
What size
There you
frames
go.
it's. Oh, sorry.
Oh, is your
I think
husband is he holding your device? Sometimes they'll put their hand over, if somebody's holding your device, sometimes they'll put their hand over the
in front.
Oh, is it? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So at the booth, we'll have machines set up, different sizes, different features on different machines. We'll have small machines, large machines, stationary machine. We'll have a lot for you to test and try and stitch on and see what feels right for you and see what size is right for you in your home area.
Perfect.
Or quilt studio, whatever you.
Right. All right, girls, do you have any questions for Karen? I know they're pretty quiet at this point. I think long arms sometimes overwhelm people, or they feel like it's just too big, it won't fit in their house. Do you have any suggestions for that?
There are various frame sizes. We go from a 3-foot stationary machine that has a 20-inch throat space with a lift table that lifts up and down. So you can stand or sit. That's where you move the fabric instead of the handlebars on the machine. And then we start at 5-foot frames, 5 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot. You can even add and make it 14. I've got a 12-foot frame here in my living room. It only takes up half of it. Doesn't take up all of it. And I can get around it just fine. But we help you with that at the booth. We look at so measure your room before you come to the show, and we'll be able to help you fit the best frame for you, the best machine size, the best budget, all of that. Handi Quilter really listens to the quilter, and they gear the machines as they listen to quilters and create what you need. So it's a quilter creating for other quilters. It's really wonderful.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I think we don't have any questions. So do you have any last tips or tricks you want to tell them? Or
I forgot I was going to show you a few things.
Okay.
I just got a few samples, and Vicki and I will both bring samples to the show, but they're samples of free motion that we will bring to the show. We will bring ruler samples. These are just small ones because we travel and they have to fit in our suitcase.
Right. Hold that one up a little bit closer to the camera so they can really see. You got a lot of detail in there.
This one is a small sampler of how to use different rulers, and we teach how to create these looks and others. And we also teach you how to get the look on the back of the Handi Quilter ruler package. They have ideas right on the back of the package, and we talk about that in class as well.
And do the Handi Quilter rulers work on any long arm or just on Handi Quilters?
Yes, it does. And we do talk about that in class, that you do need a ruler specifically made for the long arm. And we tell you what those specifications are in class. And we have that written on the handout as well.
Okay. And Mary wants to know, is the stationary machine similar to guiding using a home sewing machine?
Yes, it is. You move the fabric. The machine stitches at 20 500 stitches per minute. It's an Amara. What I love about that machine, it's very versatile. So when you get it with the lift table, which again raises up to 48 inches, so you can change your bobbin without ducking under the table. And when you do find room in your home for a frame, it converts to a frame. That's the machine that does that Handi Quilter offers right now. It is the Amara 20. It converts from stationary to frame with a kit. You do get a kit to convert that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, that particular machine, the Amara ST, which is a 20-inch throat space, which is pretty deep, and good lighting, the speed is amazing. So you'll have to come and try it. You can use the foot pedal, or you can push a button and it stitches without you having to hold down the pedal.
Perfect. Carolyn says she has a Handi Quilter Capri and she likes it.
Oh, yes, the Capri. Yeah, a little bit smaller throat space. You might want to take a look at the ST and see if that throat space is something you want to move up to. But there'll be, I'm pretty sure there's an ST in the booth that we'll have, but for you to test drive on it. So.
And do you guys do trade-ins like at the show? They can trade in or trade up, or?
That will be a good question for the leader in the show booth, which will be Lynn Blevins. She will be there to guide and answer those kinds of questions.
Perfect.
So come with, if you have a favorite retailer, Handi Quilter retailer that is right by you, make sure you bring their name and phone number and talk to Lynn Blevins about that.
Perfect.
But this was all made on a long arm. You can piece on a long arm. You can make an entire quilt on a long arm. I don't have a Minky one here, but Minky is really tricky to work with on a domestic machine. But you can lay strips of Minky down, and with strips of Minky, you can make an entire quilt and have it quilted. And you can put your binding on the long arm and then just trim and flip and finish your binding and you're done. Pretty quick.
And you go over all those techniques at the show?
We go over binding, how to apply binding during ruler class. That's a ruler class because you do need a ruler base and certain feet that I like to use when I put my binding on. And now Vicki and I are both teaching, and I'm trying to remember who's doing the ruler class on that form I've got, but one of us will cover that. It's pretty, one of us will cover that.
Okay.
I hate to speak for Vicki because she does her own handout and her own material to cover, but I'm sure she'd give me a minute or two or a few minutes to kind of go over how to put binding on the long arm.
Right, for sure. Mary, I am personally not a Handi Quilter retailer. I'm just doing the interviews for Quilt Show Reno. So you're going to want to contact who is the shop that's you're going to be in their booth?
I'm pretty sure that was Quilt Show. Oh wait, I do know the name of that. It is Sierra Sewing.
Oh, she's going to be at Sierra Sewing. So if you guys have questions, you guys can call Jared up in Reno. He would be like the best contact person if you want to get more info on the Handi Quilter before the show.
And that will be the name of the booth, Sierra Sewing.
Yeah. So Karen is a teacher. She doesn't necessarily work for Sierra Sewing. She is a Handi Quilter educator. So she'll be at the show educating you on the Handi Quilter itself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Lori, yes, you can give me a call right after this show, but it has to be quick because I have another show that starts at 4. Okay. Any other questions for Karen or anything that you want to know about the Handi Quilter? Like I always say, if you've got questions and you think about them and you're taking classes, write it down because you think you're going to remember it. And when you get to class, you can never remember what that really important question was that you've been losing sleep over. All right. Any other, you're teaching every day, I think you said, right, Karen?
Yes, Vicki or I will be teaching every day in that classroom. We share a classroom with Gina Perkes. So she has the classroom part of that time. So there will be a few of us in that classroom, and we'll also be in the booth. So we'll be
Perfect. Okay, if you guys, if you have any other questions, you got a second or two to ask them. Karen, do you also do other classes? What do you just travel the country teaching Handi Quilter, or?
Yes, I do. I teach Pro Stitcher Advanced or Intermediate to Advanced. I teach some Designer, which is a software that goes hand in hand with Pro Stitcher. And we talk about that a little bit on that first day, how it works and just a few of the things you can do with it. It's not a designer class that we have on that first day, but I do give you a little taste of what it can do. But I do also teach on Zoom, and I go through retailers to do that. So I have a website, ilongarmquilt.com, and I will be posting, I haven't started that yet, but I will be posting what classes I will be teaching via Zoom. And then you wouldn't contact me, you would contact the retailer who is hosting the event and sign up through them. And then I have a YouTube channel that I'm just beginning, and that is I Long Arm Quilt.
Perfect. Okay, well, we're glad that you took time out of your day to come and chat with us. And any of you who are logged on or log on later, make sure you go to quiltshowreno.com and get signed up for the classes. You guys really don't know how lucky we are to have such a great show regionally and all these teachers at our fingertips. It only happens once a year for us, so make sure you go and you get signed up for these classes. Do you have anything else you want to say, Karen?
Thank you for having me. It was fun. I'm excited to come to Reno.
Good. All right, we'll see you on June 11th if they're signed up for your class. Otherwise, they'll see you in the booth June 13th to the 15th, and they can find you in Sierra Sewing's booth. Which will probably be the biggest booth right in the middle of the show. You won't be able to miss it. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, all of you who tuned in. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.